Hi, everybody. This is the continuation of building your toolbox from a couple of weeks ago, and we're doing Qi Gong exercises. So people were saying they enjoyed the webinar, but that they couldn't remember how to do all the exercises. So we're going to quickly go through. I'll just be doing them 3 times or less, and that way you'll remember what they are, but certainly feel free to extend your sessions and do them longer. So for waking up in the morning, we have face washing, which is Qi Gong. So if you wear glasses like I do, you might want to take them off. And we start with our flat hands across our forehead, and the count is 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then with your index fingers, you want to circle the bones of the eyes. So 1, 2, 3. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3. And again, any of these can be done 6 times, 9 times. Now with the flat of the index finger, you're going to go up and down the side of your nose, but your hands at the same time are flat against your face. So it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then the mouth, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then with your thumb and your index finger, you make like a U shape, and the thumb goes behind your ears and you pull down. And again, the flats of your hands rub against your face and your neck. And that's 1, 2, 3, but certainly feel free to do them longer. And then we have circling on the top of the head. So you have 2 hands and you go on top of your head. 1, 2, 3. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3. Press down 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Take a big inhale, and then slide your hands all the way down to your tummy. And 1, 2, 3. Go the other way. 1, 2, 3, and press in 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And I think that's all we have on the face washing. So for falling asleep, you're lying in your bed, circling your joints. And so this is basically to give you something to think about outside of what your day has been and kind of distract you, so that by the time you finish circling all your joints, that you're relaxed and you're ready to drift off to sleep. So each finger gets a chance to circle one by one. It's a little bit like counting sheep, and you can go in both directions, circling. And so that's your fingers, and then you do your wrists and you circle. And again, it's up to you if you want to do 3 times. If you've had a stressful day, you may want to extend it and do more circles. With the elbows, you can either do windshield wipers or actually circle your hands, and that circles the elbows, and then you go in the other direction. And then we have shoulders. So up and back, circling your shoulders up and back. And again, if you're lying in bed, do as much movement as you can. You can also circle the shoulders to the front. And then we have in bed, your ankles. So you circle your feet, and then you circle the other way. And again, this can be 3 times or more. You can actually circle them in the same direction if you prefer. You know, some of these are just kind of what your body tells you to do. And then we have at the very top of the head, and you're lying with your pillow, you just want to do the smallest little movement. So it's almost like those bobble dolls in the car, and it's the top of the neck. So where the head meets the top of the neck, you don't want to do anything to your neck, because there's too many nerve endings and circulation that will add to pain. So what we want to do is just circle and drain some of the stuffiness out of our head before we go to sleep. And then the last thing is that you wipe one foot on top of the other foot. So again, it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. And then you should be fast asleep by now, but I'll continue. For the morning meditation, when you're waking up, you're lying in bed again. Picture yourself inside a big ball or a balloon. And what you're doing is you're circling. Either can be light, it can be warmth, it can be energy, it can be butterscotch, whatever your favorite thing is to imagine. And for this circle, for the yin people, which is colder and moister and more that you think about darkness and nighttime, if you're that kind of person, you want to have the energy come up the front of your body and down the back of your body. So you're inside a big ball and this big circle is going around your body. You have picked whether you want it to be light, whether you want it to be warmth, whether you want it to be syrup, could be chocolate syrup. If you're a yang kind of person, which is, I guess, the A type of personality, people who are really hyperactive, you want that energy to come up the back of your body and go down the front of your body. So what I would suggest is try both of them, because you may not know which one you are, yang or yin. The yang goes up the back and down the front. And then there may be days where you want to reverse it. It'll just feel not comfortable if you're going in a direction against what your body needs for that particular day. So you want to try out these big circles. And so this is called the microcosmic orbit. That's something you might want to do when you wake up in the morning. For meditating at night, even before you do your circles, you can create a big figure 8 in your body. So you're going from your right leg up to your left hand, over to your right hand, and down to your left leg. So this is a big figure 8 in your body. And so what you want to do is, again, send that light, send that energy, send that chocolate syrup, anything that you can imagine, making a big figure 8. For all you dyslexics out there, just make sure when you go from your foot, you cross over to the opposite hand, then you go to the other hand. And now every time you go from the hand to the foot, cross over your body to the opposite side. So you're going to be crossing constantly in a big figure 8. So that's something you can just imagine and meditate. And that's a good evening meditation, because it will center you and bring, because you're crossing the center line so many times, that will center you and, again, help you to fall asleep. And then in the morning, we have this movement that we can do, and this can be something you can do before breakfast. It's cleaning your beak. You take your elbow and you go across your body, and it's really led by the elbow. And this gives your upper back a nice stretch, but you're moving through the stretch, so you're not holding anything. If this bothers your back, or if you have shoulder issues or neck issues, just close your eyes and imagine yourself that these are your wings and you're cleaning your beak. So this is something that anytime you imagine something, your body actually doesn't really know the difference. So any of the movements that you can't physically accomplish, just imagine doing it. Close your eyes and imagine cleaning your beak. And then we have the bow and arrow. So we've got there a V. That's pointing the arrow and then pulling the bow. And again, if this ends up being something that is stressful to you, you do one side and then you do the other. You point the arrow and you pull the bow, and this stretches the whole front of your body. So you've got the front stretched, you've got the back stretched. And again, close your eyes and just imagine pointing your arrow and pulling your bow, if you can't actually do this because you have any kind of limitations in those areas. And then we talked about humming during the toolbox, and the humming would be just to say, where do you feel the vibration? So a lower sound is you're gonna feel the vibration in your chest. Then a middle humming pitch will be in your neck, and then your whole face can vibrate on a higher pitch. So what you want to do is experiment with yourself, because we all have different ranges that this will happen. So as you're humming, see where you're feeling it. So for me, if I go, it's a low sound, I can feel it actually in my chest. If I feel it in my throat, it's so I've raised my pitch. And then to get it to come out of my face, so I'm sorry that I'm offending you, but that gives you a sample of the humming. And then the last thing we're going to do is the box breathing. And so you've got this box, and what you want to do is pick the first number, and every time you get to a different part of the box, you want to add 1 beat. So let's start with the number 1. You inhale to the count of 1, hold it for 2, exhale for 3, and hold it for 4. So that's basically how you would do your box breathing. So let's do it together with the count of 2 to start. So inhale, 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, 3, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just resume your normal breathing. So you can do this progressively longer and longer. You'll get better at it. But in the beginning, you don't want to be so huffing and puffing by the end of it that you've picked something that's too long. So, so that's basically your toolbox Qigong. So you can email me, sotmary@gmail.com, if you have any questions about any of this. And certainly think of it as playful and something to enjoy, not a chore, certainly. So hopefully you get some good night's sleep and wake up perky in the morning with some of these exercises. So thank you for checking in. Okay, Jen.